My hands were cold and shaky as I clipped my microphone to my shirt. I walked up the steps to the stage and I stood in front of a room full of speech language pathologists. I was at the Texas Speech Hearing Association annual conference, and I was a presenter in the area of AAC. And I knew that this was my second year presenting at the conference. My first year, I told the story of a remarkable little boy that I helped to assess and train on his new communication system. This year was different. This year, I wanted to share some functional tips for speech language pathologists to use to help them feel more confident when implementing, any kind of system, just to help their students and their families feel successful. I don't know how well I did that day. I was so nervous, and I was so, you get in front of an audience and your mind just goes blank sometimes, and you just kind of go on autopilot. But today, I actually want to share some of those tips with you so that you can give them to your caregivers and your teachers and everybody who is helping your students with an alternative and augmentative communication system. So this is kind of the first video in a series, and here's how this is going to work. I'm going to try to shoot these videos to you as fast as possible because I know you're super busy and your time is super valuable. I'm going to make a playlist, an AAC strategy playlist in my channel. You can go and review it and see all of the strategies whenever you want. And send them to your parents there, your caregivers there, your teachers, if they want to learn more about strategies that they can use to help AAC users at home and in their classrooms. So today I'm going to start with the most basic AAC strategy, which is take your communication system with you wherever you go. This one, I really like this strategy for two reasons. The first reason being that we have decided to implement a communication system because the student that we're working with has some difficulties with their communication, with verbal communication. So this new system that we have, decided to try and implement is now essentially your student's voice. We as verbal speakers, talk everywhere we go. Taking away the system, not bringing it with you everywhere you go, is essentially if somebody taped your mouth shut and you weren't able to talk anymore. It would be extremely frustrating for you. So that is the first reason why I always suggest to parents and teachers, make sure that you take that board everywhere you go. The second reason, and the reason why this is my very first strategy, is because not every student is interested in using a communication system right away. Sometimes there's a little bit of a period between when we introduce the system, whatever the system is, to the student, and from when they have been introduced to it to when they realize, hey, this does some great things for me. When I use this system, I can tell somebody what I want without having to throw a tantrum, or I can communicate my wants and needs so much easier. This is a much better thing. At that point, when that shift is made, they want to bring the system with them. And so not bringing it brings frustration. But before they reach that point, this is a really great way to make sure that your student knows that, hey, this isn't going anywhere. You can't run away from this. If you, push it away, run away, hide from it, I'm just going to keep bringing it back. I'm not going to be mean about it. I'm not going to, be forceful, but I am going to show you everywhere we go. Hey Johnny, here's your system, whatever you call your system. I've called it a board, I've called it a voice, whatever it is. You say, hey Johnny, here's your system. I'm going to put it right here. If you need to tell me something while we're at recess, this is where it is. And that's all you have to do. Hey Johnny, it's time for snack. I'm going to put your board right here in front of you. You can tell me if you need something and I'm ready to help you. At the beginning, just model this. Just get used to bringing it with you everywhere you go. And then as Johnny or whoever gets a little bit more comfortable and used to the board, then you can start trying to encourage, or I say the board, I'm sorry, the system. You can start encouraging him or her to use the system a little bit more. But for now, the very first step is just get used to bringing that board with you everywhere you go. Again, kind of a third reason that this is really great is because it's a new habit for us as caregivers to get into as well. We may not be used to bringing a system with us everywhere we go. Every time we get in the car, we go to church, we go to the restaurant, we go to recess, we go to specials. That's something we have to retrain ourselves to learn how to do too. So before you start worrying and getting nervous and anxious about the huge, overwhelming task of teaching your student a new way to communicate, just keep the board with you everywhere you go. That's your first task. That's your first assignment. And if you want to hear some more, go ahead and click the next video in this playlist, and I will share another AAC parent-teacher strategy with you.